Rex, is it Macduff or Duff?
Alti.tv.
So welcome Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships 2017. Looking at the game between Vanguard from South Australia versus McDuff B from New South Wales. Vanguard in white to left of screen, McDuff in black to the right. Vanguard have the disc in hand and it looks like they will pull and they'll therefore be playing defense to start off the point. McDuff starting on offense. It's a full Vanguard lineup. Everyone's on the line listening to what's going to happen. This will be an interesting game. It's for the lower end of the bracket pool. Believe that this game is for the 17th to 24th bracket. So the siren has already gone about a couple of minutes ago. David Sanderson with his hand up ready to pull. And there goes the disc. It's a nice low pull. Bit of wind from our back, so it's going from near side to far side. McDuff, the nice gainer there, about 20 metres, bring it up to the midway line. Looks like there's a call straight away. Not too sure, maybe there's a call of it being out, but everyone stopped. Looking for some hand signals. I can't quite tell here. Might have been a call from a Vanguard player, I'm not too sure. Disc is tapped in, defensive hand from the mark. Vanguard player goes in to catch it. Looks like it's a catch, but another call there that it's down. McDuff player explaining just how they thought that they caught it up. I think it was John Brill on the mark for Vanguard who got a hand to that. Looking for a resolution here. Looks like it might go back to the original player, so it's contested. Yes, contested, confirmed by the game advisor on the far side. Little pop there. McDuff moving it up the line and around. That one's a clean turnover there. Sorrento to Foley. Foley out wide to Brill. Brill with the disc, fakes up the line. Sends it back. Sanderson with the disc, playmaker. It's going long. Foley should get this. That's a lovely disc from Sanderson to Foley. A lovely score. Great way for Vanguard to open their account. Well done. 1-0 to Vanguard. Sorrento picks up the disc after the turn, throws it out. That's a lovely cut by Foley. Rosie Foley up to John Brill, looking down the side, big fake, moves it back in centre. Barbara to Sanderson. As I said, he's got a really good flick. There it goes, nice long low, great flight, great touch on that disc. Kristen Foley with the score, number 35. Rosie Foley, sorry. So Vanguard with a break immediately. It's really good to see for that team. McDuff will want to fight hard now to retain possession and score themselves. As they move it, Vanguard putting a zone on, Pommy zone. Choosing not to go for the easy dump, now he does. Bit of a gap there in that zone, sends it back. Big over the top. Again, McDuff just sending it over the top of the zone. There's this dump swing. Nothing upfield to speak of. Big hammer over the top. There's a drop. So Sanderson with the disc again, maybe looking for a big flick. Barbara up the line. Nice cut. There's a big flick. Comes in. Didn't quite get it. Batista, 2 grabs and a drop, unfortunately. Easy give go from McDuff. Barbara in the way, managed to pull down a good defensive grab. Sanderson again with the disc. He'll be looking to score from this. Puts it up. And that's a great score. Brill taking a nice high catch. Very confident in that catch. Good to see. Vanguard now 2-0 up. Here we see it again. Sanderson taking the disc off of the toes. Puts up a nice flight. Brill taking it early. The conditions here quite good for ultimates. Overcast, not a lot of sun, not too warm, there's no rain, no wind to speak of. I think these conditions are better for Vanguard, who we saw in pool play yesterday, live streams. You can catch that on Ultimate Australia YouTube website. They're looking a lot more strong, a lot more confident, especially with these weather conditions today. McDuff, another easy turn. Vanguard just coming off a previous game against Crank with a loss, I think roughly 15-5. That was a nice hammer from Sorrento. Just missed the mark. Would have liked to see Brill just read that a bit better. And it's just over his head. That's lovely intercept from Barbara. Sanderson picks up the disc again. Might look for Brill. Great hand block. Sanderson won't be happy with that. Vanguard straight into their zone D. Brill on the mark. Sanderson reading that. Close to Callahan territory, but throws an easy assist to Rosie Foley. Here we see it again, looking over the top. Sanderson reading it well before it was thrown. Tries to jump in. So this Vanguard team's looking very strong at the moment. It's good to see. Vanguard with 3 clear points. McDuff yet to score. Change of guard. Ben Foley with the pull this time. Puts up a nice disc. Fortunately, they'll just land out, I think. McDuff bringing it to the brick mark. And Vanguard straight into their pommy zone. There's good containment there by that zone. Keeping McDuff to that sideline. There's the dump. Didn't get the swing off. Would have liked to have seen that happen. I think McDuff need to get it off of that sideline for something to happen. Needs to be a continuation swing. McDuff now pushed back, having to do a hammer. Wind again from our backs, pushing that just over the far sideline. I think there's a stall. No, it's coming from the sideline. Hall with the disc, puts it up through a couple of hands. Ben Foley managed to pick it up a little bit over the head of Kathleen, who was in a fantastic position to catch that. Nice. Big disc there from McDuff. Now they make some good yards. Just outside their offensive end zone. McDuff dump. Still just outside, looking for something easy. Big defensive pressure there. Now McDuff score. They're happy with that. They're on the scoreboard. McDuff trailing Vanguard 1-3. See it on replay. A nice strong take overhead. Half field huck. Nice dumps just to secure the disc. Give it to a secure handler. Few fakes. Tay on the mark. Nice score. Vanguard now with their offensive lineup, giving them the first opportunity to score with their offensive line. We just had a gust of wind there. Might be able to see it on the far flag there. Pushing that disc far out, preventing it from going downfield too far. Choosing to take it from the sideline, Jasmine Malhotra. Swing to Jack Hall. Cross to Foley. Scott White. Winds up for the big flick, straight into defensive pressure. Duff return the favour. Jack Hall to Foley, to Kathleen, to Hall. Over the top, Scott White again. Let's see what he does with the disc this time. It's a beautiful disc through the cup, just to Foley. Back to Hall, he's got all the sideline to himself. It's a nice through and not quite leaping in. B-Fold with the disc. Jack Hall. And a score. Kristen Foley with the score from Jack Hall. Vanguard now 4, McDuff 1. Sanderson with the pull. It's a nice position there. Landed just in. It's a good pull from Sanderson. Hammer over the top, straight into Barbara. He's had a couple of nice Ds already. Sorrento to Sanderson. Easy swing to Brill. Barbara makes an in cut, hooks him off. That throw just a little bit behind leading Rosie Foley. Zone immediately put on. McDuff pick up the disc immediately straight through. It looked like she jumped out after she caught that. Indeed, turnover is happening. Sanderson to pick up the disc. Big cross to Barbara. Batista. Batista with the disc. To Rosie Foley with the score. So a great opening from Vanguard. 5-1 looking strong. It's a much stronger Vanguard lineup than we saw yesterday, as I've mentioned already. It's good to see that they've gelled together, they found their mojo. Here again, looking at that jump out, unfortunately, has to catch it high and unfortunately just jumps out. And oh, she might have actually had a foot on the ground when she took that. So close. It's a moot point at the moment though. McDuff raise their hand, they're ready for the pull. Sanderson again, their main puller. Expect a zone from Vanguard. Here it comes. Moving down the near side. And again, a lovely defensive read by Barbara. Straight up force, not giving him anything. And a nice poach off the disc by McDuff, seeing that coming. No one on the mark at the moment. Bit of confusion as to whether they're going to man, one-on-one defense, sorry, or whether they'll do zone. Now Vanguard have their matchups. Lovely mark there by Johnson, putting great defensive pressure on the McDuff thrower. Sanderson with a big throw, Brill losing it in the sky. It's overhead. Great pick up there by McDuff. Sending it downfield. Sorrento will pick that up. Got Sanderson in the middle if he wants him. Take his time. Now he sees Sanderson. Nice disc to Foley. Great dump. Sorrento. Puts it long. Second effort by McDuff. Good defense. Just needed that disc to be slightly more out in front. It's okay. See if Vanguard get it back. And they do. McDuff turn it over. Nice little shepherd of the disc by Brill. Favola with the disc. And that's... they're saying it's a score. It's a lovely pick-up by Brill again. Sanderson tried. Brill with a backup. Great effort there by Brill. Here we go. Bit blady, no. Sanderson looking at it, and it's hard to say in the vision on my screen, just with the contrast that's there. So Vanguard with a different defensive lineup now. Scott White pulling duties. Interesting to see if he goes for a flick or a backhand. Goes for the backhand. That'll roll. Gain a bit of ground. Nice score. Hand straight up in the air. McDuff with their second point. Vanguard up 6-2. McDuff looking for a roller, coming out about halfway into the production booth. A few cheers go up. Pretty much right on that halfway line. Hall to bring it in. To Tay. Tay moving across to Foley. Foley to Kay Foley. Little scuba over the top to Tay. Back to Hall. There's a nice containment zone here from McDuff. Great grab. It's a nice little over the top back again. Mitchell with the disc twice in a row. We got a dump swing. Tay to Foley. Back to Tay, to B Foley, to Tay, dump swinging at the moment, just keeping the disc alive. It's nice movement, nothing too pressured. A little over the top scuba from Tay. Nice containment here by McDuff, not giving anything to the Vanguard player. Little backhand release from Mitchell. And we have a score, B Foley to J Malhotra. Nice score. So now Vanguard 7-2 up, 1 point away from taking half. Here we see that movement. Mitchell moving it across, drawing everyone. Coming back to Foley to Malhotra. McDuff catch the pull, send to the disc straight away. McDuff score. Great grab there by the McDuff player. Just managing to box out Sorrento. There's the big sideline, called it early. Sorrento trying just out of the reach of the fingertips. A nice box out, easy catch there by McDuff. Already had a player deeper than him. Sanderson not able to catch up to that one. McDuff score. So McDuff not giving up here. It's good to see. Always in the fight. Not content just to move it around in containment. They'll put up some big shots. Trust their big players deep as well to get the disc. Didn't fail them that time. Hold to B Foley. B Foley to J Malhotra. Kathleen with the disc now. Back to Foley. B Foley tries to fake out. Big crossfield swing to Sorrento. Returns the favour. Foley with the disc. Brings it back to the front. And Kathleen with the easy score. Vanguard take half, 8-3. Can see that big crossfield swing to Sorrento opened everything up, changing the angles. Sorrento looking back with an outside in. Foley full stretch getting that one, runs into the end zone, brings it back to the big to start the end zone. Kathleen with a fine run for the score. So McDuff in a huddle now. thinking what can they do. They'd like to be in the playoff for 17th position rather than a bit further down. Meanwhile, Vanguard in a commanding position, taking half 8-3. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah, man, take it off. Nice, Phil. This is a better game to watch. Could use some upbeat music for the highlights this time. Click on main. Yeah. That's what's going to the headphones. So if you go back to main left and right, it's the same space to leave it. There you go. Now beautiful.
What if you were at Egypt?
Welcome back to the second half of this match. First half saw Vanguard in white, now right of screen, out of picture, taking half quite convincingly 8-3. McDuff now with a task behind them to figure out what they need to do to break this Vanguard defensive zone. Also to put a bit more defensive pressure on the Vanguard offensive unit. Wind helping that one. Drop there from Lee. Bit of an outside in floater. It's a great take by McDuff for the score. One pass offense. Vanguard, McDuff now half of Vanguard score, 8-4. There we see it. Bit blady, but well read, well attacked. Diving for the disc, taking it. He's happy. Tay for Vanguard. Okay, Shrek to pick up the disc. Cross to Hall. Okay, Foal with the disc. Hall. Few fakes. Leaves it quite floaty in the air there, leaving Tay vulnerable. McDuff pick up the disc. 2 free players on that far side. So 2 small errors from Vanguard, now giving McDuff a sniff. Here we see the big fake, and it just goes up in the air a little bit too much. I'll say Tay under pressure here. It's a great defensive effort by McDuff to get that disc back. And then the McDuff players are off. There's no zone D to set up. And McDuff with a score, easy score. McDuff opting for the roller. Makes it to halfway. Vanguard with good opportunity here. Foley to pick up the disc. There's no one cutting long at the moment. It's a nice cut in by Malhotra to Lee. Ball in the dump position. Lee having to try scuba after a high stall count. Not a lot on offer for her. It's a big disc up the field. Now McDuff have made up their ground, a halfway mark. Strong gust of wind. Going right to left. And that one just gets thrown into the ground. Vanguard with another chance. Nice cut in by Lee. Dump to Foley. Foley with this again, looking long. That's a lovely jump in by Aidan Mitchell. So Vanguard recover now. Scores 9-5 to Vanguard. It's a K Foal to B Foley. Easy as you like. Mitchell in open space. Jumps as he catches. Knows he's landed in. Presents himself for the score. Sanderson with a pull for Vanguard, just landing out. McDuff taking at the brick mark, gaining a bit of advantage there. Out fakes Brill on the mark. Also throw errant to the other McDuff players. Turnover. Barbara with the disc. Looks to Sorrento. Sanderson presents himself for a nice in cut. Now looking deep. Sorrento, nice cross field. A little bit of a hand in that, I feel. It's well picked up. And that was thrown, it looked like it was thrown into the ground. Is there a call? See that there, and oh, it's hard for me to say on the replay screen. I've got what happened there. Definitely that leading edge was up, the trailing edge, and it's called down. Sanderson to pick up the disc. Straight to Brill, who's open. Quick break. And Vanguard now at 10, McDuff at 5. There's the quick pick up by Sanderson. Nice cut to the open side by Brill. So there's discussion at the Vanguard end at the moment with advisors coming in. I'm not too sure what that's about. See if we can get some commentary on that. Nice pull by Sanderson, just lands just inside their offensive end zone. McDuff taking it outside of their defensive end zone. Now moving it up. 5 meters out now from the defensive end zone. Big hammer over the top. Through the hands. Got a turn there. Barbara with the disc picks it up. There's no mark on. A nice cut in there. Tran with the disc. Haven't seen much of her at the moment. Sorrento with the disc now. And just pushes it a little bit too far out in front of Sanderson. Probably needed a bit more touch on that. Vanguard setting up their zone, which has been quite effective against the McDuff lineup. It's a nice little hammer over the skipper over the top. Brill with a strong mark. And no options there for the McDuff receiver. Barbara over the top. That's big. It's going to stay up. In the end, a nice box out. Foley with a call there. Call is foul by the looks of it. Stayed up for quite some time. Both players running in the same direction. Yes, there's a little bit of contact there. And there's no contest on that. No backup. So I'm not too sure the McDuff player electing to take it from where she caught it rather than walking it up. But now McDuff on the sideline. Big swing, find themselves still. less than 5 metres out from the defensive goal zone, but a big huck there. Sorrento now taking great defensive grab deep. And Brill presenting himself in the end zone once more. He's taken a fair share of their catches to score. So see the big huck, defensive zone, Sorrento playing the deep position, quite tall, quite agile, picks it up, sends it to Barbara, sees Brill wide open, almost got fingertip to that by the McDuff player. Brill in the end with an easy catch. Jack Hall now to try skills at pulling. There's an unfortunate drop there. Bobble of the disc. McDuff turn it over in the defensive half. Quick movement, and that was just caught out. Again, a lovely presentation by Cass Lee. Big hammer over the top. Ben Foley probably take that fairly easily. Off to Mitchell. Mitchell gets the disc back. Might have been a bit of a foot block in there. Maybe another big put. Toes the line. McDuff keep it alive. Short hammer over the top. That's a bullet. That's a nice crossfield pass to 23. And back the other way. Lovely movement. Diagonal zigzag movement by McDuff. It's great stuff to see. Score is now 11-5. Maybe 11-6, sorry. There's the hammer over the top to get out of the zone. Then we have a bullet flick crossfield one way. Great two-handed grab. And gives it off to a handler who does the bullet flick the other way for the score. Great stuff, McDuff. McDuff slightly offside there. It's not being called by Vanguard. Hole just over the top of the outstretched hands of Lee. Hold on the mark, chance to get it back. It's a nice put, and McDuff with the score from that turnover. give go there. 38 sees 2 free players. They could raffle it off. 19 with the score. So a timeout at the moment, and the score is 11-7 to Vanguard. So I'd like to thank Port Stephens Council for their sponsorship, and Discraft Ultimate as well. That one's going out. So it'd be interesting to see if they take that from the sideline or whether they take a brick mark. Probably enough of an advantage there, I think, to take it from the sideline. Sorrento picks up the disc, puts it back into play, throws it straight away. McDuff play it with outstretched arms. Johnson considering the foul and retracting it. Quick down the line for McDuff. Again, strong zone. Brill bites on that pop. Johnson makes sure that disc touches the ground. Sanderson just not able to float it enough for Tran. McDuff want the big, they get it. Sorrento in the deep position, equal to the task. Turns it over. Sanderson to Barbara. Just a little bit blady there, a little bit anxious. Almost grabbed there by Maverick. Barbara sends the disc to Sorrento. Movement to Sanderson. Back to the middle. Johnson with the disc, looking for a dump. Gets it, finds it in Sorrento. Brill presents himself in the middle. Again, Sorrento as the dump. It's good movement here. Barbara with the score. And there's pick call. Looking at the game advisor for the hand signals. Thank you. McDuff with a force flick. Take two. This time Tran is the receiver. And Vanguard now at 12-7. Here's that first one earlier in the point. Receiver Johnson retracts a call. Now Sanderson to Tran for the score. McDuff centre the disc off of the pool. Vanguard with a pommy zone. Finds a gap there. Down the far side. Looking for a dump swing option. Not there. Trapped a little bit more on that sideline. There goes the hammer to get out of trouble. Sanderson's underneath that, manages to get his hand to it. Pushes it down. Good defensive effort there. This to Barbara, to Brill. Barbara wants to score now. And Barbara does get the disc in the end for the score. Vanguard now 2 points away from taking this game, 15. There's the cross field from Brill. Barbara well in the open on the break side. Ben Foley with the pull. And not coming back in. So that disc coming out fair way down. Now Shrek Cam there. Green faces all around. I think Vanguard lucky to get away with that. There's an offside call by the game advisor down the McDuff end. So they get that pull back. That pull landing in. McDuff, little one over the top, little hammer. Scott White slaps it down. Hole to pick up to B. Foley. Looks deep. It's a nice flick. Just drops a little early. White unable to get the double happiness that time. Now McDuff with a few options in front. Crossfield. This is the way they scored earlier. Nice little swing there. McDuff over the top and they score. McDuff happy with that one. Pull back one more point. Score is now 13-8 to Vanguard. Here we see a little flick dump. Nice weighted disc over the top of the zone. And another nice weighted disc over the defender. McDuff with a low sliding pull. Pull to Kay Foley. To Kath Lee. McDuff. Are they looking long? Yes, they are. It's big around. Two people there. Big hammer over the top. Nice score from McDuff. They're happy staying within touch here. 9-13. See the hammer. Nice over the top, over all the defenders. Great, strong two-handed grab. Johnson with a disc, looking for the dump. Barbara. Nice up the line. Tran To Rosie Foley, to Sanderson. Nice inside flick there. One of Sanderson's stronger throws. And that one just floating a bit too much, leaving the receiver in a bit of trouble. It's a nice flick inside to break that zone. And McDuff just not able to keep the disc alive, giving Vanguard all sorts of opportunities. Sanderson one hand out trying to get that and avoid the collision, wasn't able to collect it. Again, McDuff using the hammer as well. They're finding what they need to get through this Vanguard zone. And that's the hammers. Just need more of them to work just to stay in the game. And again, Vanguard not being able to put their zone on, going in one-on-one defense. McDuff being able to capitalize with that big long throw, which goes over the top of even the tall Sorrento, just through the hands of Sanderson. We just have siren. So we'll finish this point. And we'll then add one to the score that is the highest at the end of this point to determine what the points cap will be. McDuff again offside, but it's not being called. Sanderson looking big, chooses something short with Mitchell. Nice disc to Lee, to Malhotra. Using the ladies nicely now. B. Foley looking for Sanderson. Sanderson does a loop, gets it. And the score is with Kay Foley. So Vanguard now 14-10 game to 15. And Sanderson, very quick hands to K-Fol. McDuff turned the disc over. Not what they were hoping for, not what they wanted. Vanguard now with the chance just to finish this match off. Batista with the disc. Back to Sanderson. Swing to the far side. Disc with Sorrento at the moment. Straight to the middle. Easy under to Barbara. And Batista picks up the scraps from Johnson and a McDuff defender. Vanguard very happy about that. Different Vanguard unit to the one we saw yesterday. A lot more clinical, a lot more controlled. Really good to see the way they've grown in this tournament over the space of 24 hours. They've now in a strong position to finish 17th in this tournament, winning this match 15-10. Just looking at that final score now. Sorrento to the middle to Barbara. It's an easy one up to Johnson. Outstretched hand, gets a touch to it. Comes off of a McDuff defender. Batista with eyes solidly on the disc. Pancake catch. Number 15 is happy about that. You can see the smile on her face. Johnson also celebrates with her. And McDuff also in there as well. So from all of us here in the broadcast, Mike Palmer, Rex Johnson, myself, Phil Shields, we are winding up. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Discraft, and also the Port Stephens Council for helping make this broadcast possible. And looking forward to see you tomorrow for the final day of the Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships 2017 held here, Nelson Bay, New South Wales. Please share on your social media websites as well. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Alti.tv